Oh, it's just a little bit off. Alright, quick moment here, guys. I'm just gonna relocate this slightly. Nah, it was close, though. It wasn't bad for just sort of, roughly guessing where it should be. Alright, to the bottom right-hand side, our green Terran player. It is from Red Bloods. It's Lillekanin. He's going to be going up against the Blue Zerg to the top left-hand side from Prophecy Esports. Reynor, his first matchup of the day here. As we get this set up and ready to go. Extractor going to get put down in at the main base. They're going to be popping that down as drones just continuing to mine at the moment. An early gas from Reynor and a pool as well. He likes to do this a lot. Some sort of pool first variety just to get a little bit aggressive early and so on, and we'll see if it's going to bring him much success here. As we'll see what Lillekanin wants to do. Again, he was showing some interesting builds himself with that faster factory on battle on the boardwalk, so we'll see how that turns out this time around, what sort of builds he looks to use. Obviously, he's not proxying right away here on Ascension Dire, which is what he tried to do against the Laser. So maybe feeling a little bit more confident against Reynor in a bit of a longer game, perhaps. I guess we will indeed see. Right now, a SCV just coming to scout then, just to check what exactly is happening. Maybe Lillekanin is kind of a little bit sick of kind of maybe losing to the fast roaches or so. Just wants to make sure that's not going to be the case here once again. As you are going to see that SCV arriving in the next couple of moments. And we'll just be seeing the hatchery. We'll notice it's a pool first though, which means the Reaper will probably stay at home, or at least just hunt for Zerglings, rather than running in towards the upper left-hand side of the map. Obviously, you just do not want the Lings to come in and delay the CC, because then you're just going to have to pull the Reaper back anyways, as we are going to be jumping in with this SCV, getting pushed back by a couple of Lings. So keeping track of where they are is also quite nice. As we do see the SCV just pulling back in towards the center. Ling speed coming up as well. Queen throws down an inject on the main base hatchery. The natural hatchery coming up as well, and will be completing in just the next few moments. A couple more drones just starting to get mining away on this expansion. SCV, we're going to make it back home. Then the Reaper didn't actually get any kills just yet, but we'll come back just in case those Lings did come across. In the end, they didn't, but it was only 2 Lings from Reynor. Now he makes a couple more. As Ling speed gets towards completion, he might be looking to try and grab a couple of early units with these Zerglings, maybe cause some chaos and already take a little bit of a lead in that regard. Definitely a possibility for him here, as you already see extra Zerglings coming down onto the lower round, on towards the natural. Now they're going to get ready to run across towards that bottom right-hand side, so here they go. 6 Zerglings already moving down to the bottom right-hand corner. Ling speed is going to finish up in a moment or two. The Queen about to finish as well. I'm just going to be seeing this command center starting on up in the main base. So, CC starting in the main, I mean just a third base already. So those Lings are going to arrive. There's not even Hellions out just yet. That's how fast some of these Lings are showing up. As the Reaper actually does deny the drone from coming down on the third hatchery. So that's a nice pick up from Lillekanin, slowing that down. As the Lings arrive, but again, nothing on the low ground to really kind of do much with. And well, the Hellions starting to come out as well, so he will be able to deal with this without too much of an issue. Hellions get roasted once again. Those Lings taking a little bit more damage. Mansen drops back down once more now. And again, just continue to work his way through this. The orbital has to lift back up yet again. And we're just going to be seeing the second factory once more dropping down. So we're seeing Lillekanin a similar build order to earlier, where he went for that kind of Ling Roach style. Sorry, the Hellion Cyclone style. And we're probably going to have to see something like Ling Roach to defend this from Reynor. Ling Bane on its own just doesn't really cut it against the Cyclones. So the Roaches will be something that will be a bit of a necessity here, perhaps, in the near future. We've seen this Zergling continue to scout around as the 2 Cyclones about to pop, and see if Lillekanin wants to throw down an armory and get super aggressive with like Hellbats right away. Or you could just keep them as Hellions to kind of keep them abilities to be able to kite and so on. I mean, obviously there's no harm in being able to morph into Hellbats, but obviously just doesn't feel as though he's going to get aggressive enough just yet, or isn't going to use them. We're not hitting the supply block as he loses that Overlord, so that's a little bit of a shame, as we do have the extra Hellions coming up the right-hand side, going to sit over to the right, and some extra Zerglings going to start moving across to the right-hand side as well. So they're going to see what they can get up to now. Tron will be finishing in a few moments' time, so Reynor has the correct response to this so far. He has what he needs to have at this stage, as we're going to be seeing these few Hellions just gathering up and still coming to the right side. Double armory will now drop. So Lillekanin just looking towards upgrades here more so than just getting in towards Hellbats or anything. We're just coming up from Reynor, but he's being very cautious. I like it. He's not kind of like just droning crazily, so he's not going to be caught off guard. He'll have units to defend if he needs units to defend. So everything looking very decent in that regard. Hellions coming through the middle of the map, and a few more Zerglings down the right-hand side will be diving towards that natural expansion, but it's going to be met by, well, Hellions and Cyclones. Really not too much you can really do here, so Hellions and Cyclones going to push those few Zerglings away for now. Still just info, I guess, on those units out there. Gets to see the composition a bit. Just going to see his lair on the way up, and now some Roaches already coming forwards to be able to push those Hellions back. And we are going to be seeing Cyclones continue to come on through. Let's try and catch the Hellions as well, but not going to be too successful here, as the Hellions manage to pull away. +1 vehicle weapon starts up on this armory. Extra factories coming down in the main base as well. And as extra factories come down in the main base, you'll be seeing 3 more tech labs being added. Obviously with double reactor already up, he wants to get into a stage where he can build up into siege tanks as his transition out of this. Hellion Cyclone, Hellbat Cyclone is good for a while, but it is not good forever. And that's why that transition needs to be established here. And then towards the siege tanks before too many roaches come up, really, because you can kind of fight for a little while in this Hellion Cyclone, but god, in a moment or two, it very quickly becomes kind of overwhelming, those roaches, and you need something like the siege tank splash damage to deal with it. Hellions and Cyclones coming in towards the middle of the map here, so we're going to be seeing Lillekanin just running around as well, seeing what else is happening. We're going to see a couple of Hellbats getting morphed in. Is getting picked off already. Is I think it's been kind of crazy that we've seen so little kind of committed aggression from each player. Really just kind of small skirmishes like creep tumors, etc. going down. Very minimal actual overall trades and losses so far between the two of them. Just Lillekanin. It's not like Lillekanin's just sat at home doing nothing as well, right? Like that's what I mean. He is out on the map. He's cleaning up creep, and yet Lillekanin hasn't lost any of these units really, and so it's very impressive to be able to keep that up. He's actually going to find himself this damage on the hatchery, but the Hellion goes down as the larger Roach army does find it, and we're actually going to see Reynor as Roach speed finishes up. He's going to start getting onto the map and trying to be aggressive, but the siege tanks have started to come out. As the tanks come out, he's going to be able to start throwing down corrosive biles to be able to clean those out. But there is tanks, and I mean, tanks go a long way. The question is there enough tanks in good enough positions to defend this massive Roaches? Doubling the army supply right now. Reynor is getting ready to attack on in. He's already spreading those Roaches out, and here we go. There's only 2 tanks right now. The rest of the tanks are starting to come out, but they're just not here yet. Again, those corrosive biles will deal with the tanks very quickly because there's no way he can dodge away from it. He needs high ground vision, though. The tanks on the high ground are going to be the saviors for the moment, and they will be what keeps him alive. Although that said, we can still attack this CC. So that's still an issue he has to deal with as well here, Lillekanin, because the tanks from the high ground are kind of nice, but again, they will not cover everything. The tanks now trying to move down to the low ground, and I think Reynor is just kind of happy with the damage he's already done. He'll just sort of sit here and slow the third base from coming back into location. He's actually going to have to move the third base over to the right-hand side now. As we're going to be seeing these SCVs moving over, the third base will drop into position very shortly, and our tanks already setting up to be defensive here against this Roach Ravager army of Reynor. Hydralisk Den on the way up, Infestation Pit dropping down, +2 missile attack on the way as well. A couple of Zerglings still just coming around this right side, just seeing where and what they can get up to. This command center will have to lift up, will have to move away a little bit here, and does start to pull over to this right-hand side. Again, a lot of tanks out in position, Hellbats joining up together and getting ready to attack and see just what they can get up to in the next couple of moments. Now, obviously, the issue is here from Lillekanin. He's very spread out, especially as he tries to go up to 4 bases, and that means that Reynor can maybe still get quite a bit done. Whereas the Bow's already dropping, and he will be able to clean up these first few tanks very quickly. This third base is just going to get ransacked. Mules and SCVs pulling away instantly. Corrosive Bow's on the orbital, and it won't actually die off just yet, but boy, did it get close. Reynor just again dealing some damage, forcing some trades that just continue to do very, very well. Reynor going to throw a few more Corrosive Bow's down, and we're just going to be seeing another Hellbat or 2 getting picked off. We see some tanks sieged up once again and firing away. Those Ravagers taking some shots just there, and you're going to be seeing Vikings, Hellbats, and Cyclones continue to come over to the left-hand side. Another scan drops down here from Lillekanin on the third base. And I'm just going to be seeing these roaches and ravages. Again, coming back over to the left to see just what they can do next. More Hydras continuing to gather together as you see the +2 missile attack from Reynor continuing to come on up as well. Siege tanks are sieged over towards the third base, and again, a lot of these units just moving down the low ground. We're just going to be seeing those Hellions once again being picked away at pretty quickly here, actually. So those Hellions continue to get taken down and get cleaned up pretty swiftly, as we're going to be seeing some transfusions. Just keeping those Ravages nice and healthy here, so nice transfuses right there as you see Vipers on the way out. Obviously, Reynor, it's taken him not too long at all, but he has just been building towards this very strong composition at this stage where he's going to add the Vipers on to really just be the kind of the you know, what seals the deal, I suppose. You know, the unit that really helps him to attack into the larger mech army. He's traded great for now with just Roach Ravager, a few Hydras coming out, but with Vipers coming into play, he can fight larger number of tanks. He can fight, you know, those much more easily, and he can still take good trades even when the mech army gets up to that scary, deathbally sort of force. Hydras and Ravagers currently just going to be moving back around in towards the center. They really are, these units all over the place, trying to move around and see what they can do, as we are going to see the Hydras will get rid of this barracks in the next couple of moments. So barracks will fall. Nicely picked off just here. A scan on top of this army from Lillekanin will keep track of just what's going on. Tanks still sieging up behind this set of depots. We'll see another couple of missile turrets coming down as well in the front. So many siege tanks to this right-hand side. We've seen actually a Queen drop in the main base. How interesting, this battle, the Queen drop alone. I mean, you know, it's not even just a few Hydras or anything, just straight up Queens. First Blind Cloud comes down. The Vikings, though, are doing a pretty good job against the Vipers. He abducts a couple of units. He's going to lose every single Viper for this. The Vikings moving forwards, though, means he gets a couple of extra kills that he maybe shouldn't have been able to grab. At the same time, though, Reynor loses the Queens in the main. He doesn't do a lot with this in the end, and I guess he killed 7 SCVs, which isn't bad. It's just, you know, for 4 Queens, maybe you were looking for a little bit more when they were full of transfused energy. I guess the issue is if Cyclones come to deal with it, then you can't even lift up and get away, because the Cyclones just lock off and kill the Overlord so quickly. Viking picks off another Overlord up to this top side. Hydras come in and another Viking gets taken down as well. Nicely done so far, as we're going to be seeing that Spire coming up from Reynor in the back of his main base mineral line. So, again, that's set and ready to go. The Ultralisk Captain with chitinous plating coming through too. Still just waiting to see what happens next here, as Lillekanin is, well, setting up with this kind of massive spread of tanks, awaiting his opportunity to go for something extra here. Waiting for the next chance he has to maybe just move out. I say next chance, he hasn't really had a chance at all. He's been the defender pretty much throughout this entire game so far. We now see a hatchery coming down to the south side. Reynor continuing to expand in the southwards direction. Getting Ultras out as well. I'm not sure just how much those Ultras are really going to help out. With such a great SimCity setup, I mean, they might just be a unit to try and tank a bunch of the shots as he moves in initially to a fight. But even still, it's kind of a little bit rough, as we're going to be seeing Cyclone drops coming in over on this side. We're going to see these Vipers going to start getting into play with some ducts. And that actually weakens up the defense over on this third base quite significantly. There's 4 tanks left over. See a few corrosive files coming down, but not really land on anything. Viper abduct once again. This time the Vipers don't really get taken down. Maybe one of them was lost. Keeping a good chunk of them alive as Lillekanin is repositioning some of his units. At the same time now, those Cyclones in the main, oh man, the Greater Spire, and that just stops Reynor to getting in towards that Greater Spire tech for such a long period of time here, basically. It'll really go a long way forward, as we're going to see Cyclones are getting lifted up, repositioning. We're just going to be seeing this hive continue to take some damage. Lifting up once again, we're going to be seeing, I don't know why I didn't save that Cyclone, but he is going to get cleaned up. Man, losing the Greater Spire just takes a long time. I mean, okay, the Greater Spire wasn't very far along build, but obviously there's still the fact that he has to rebuild the Spire before he can start it again. It does turn into quite a bit of a delay. Smart Servos on the way. We're going to see also that lock-on upgrade, the rapid fire launchers for the Cyclones. Just makes them a little bit more effective against air units so that they have extra shots. And just makes it so that maybe they can target onto Vipers and kill those off a bit more easily. Maybe even Broodlords if it comes to that at some point of this. A couple of Vipers going to abduct some Vikings forwards here, and those Vikings taking a little bit of damage. Getting picked off, and now we're going to be seeing Hydras, Ravagers, Ultras running over to the right-hand side. Another abduct, another tank going down. And this time Vipers are starting to drop a little bit to some of these missile turrets. As we're going to be seeing the main mech army is actually coming around this left-hand side, so all of a sudden Reynor is very heavily committed into this position. I think Reynor has to kind of keep on coming around this right side. He's actually going to try and maybe escape up the top. Now he has to do one of the two, right? He can't just sit here and fight. He has to keep on kiting because he doesn't have his reinforcements here or anything. So this army is a little bit weaker than it might like to be. There's dancing and jiving around as we're going to be seeing the siege tanks here. Going to be sieging up the Lillekanin. So sieging up a few tanks. We're going to be seeing those fours and Vikings coming on in, and we're just going to be seeing the well, actually, Union's going to try and fight here once again. Some Hydras from the left-hand side. It's not going to be a good fight for Reynor, though. Whichever way you look at it, Lillekanin is going to be on the better end of this. Now, Reynor does have a lot more money in the bank. With a lot more money in the bank, he can rebuild quite easily. 14 more Hydras, 23 more Hydras on the way. And now the Great Spider coming through once again. I'm not sure if you can get enough Broodlords out to really be scary. There's so many 4s up. I'm not sure Broodlords will be the right answer at the moment. Honestly, more Hydras might not be terrible, because of the fact that the tank count is taking some heavy hits and really isn't what it used to be. So maybe a ground-focused army is the way to keep on attacking here. Hydra's still moving around, gathering together, going to be coming in towards the center of the map. These Ultralisks as well. Moving towards the center as a scan comes down on the top side. A few extra Vipers coming on in, the +1 flyer attack, +3 carapace upgrade on the Evo chamber as well. Greater Spire is coming up too, and just going to be seeing a scan once again is coming down, and Group Jimmers continuing to be cleaned up. Never abduct forwards a couple of times over. Get rid of that 4 here. So yoinks coming on down still, as you're going to see these Vipers going to come in once again. This time from the right hand side, they're going to drop a nice blinding cloud on some of these tanks. Well, here we go. Oh, there's so many blinding clouds right here. A couple of abducts as well. However, blinding clouds will start to fade, and then these Hydras will drop very, very quickly. And Lillekanin keeps on cleaning out this army of Reynor, and Lillekanin's mech is seemingly going to be enough to break on through, because Reynor has not been able to do what he needed to do here, and now he's down in supply. I mean, again, he'll try and get up into Broodlords, but I'm not even sure if that's the answer with so many 4s already on the map. Lillekanin's already built himself up in towards an answer to all of this. I just come in and they're able to pick off a Viking middle of the map nice and easily there. A couple of Broodlords from Reynor on the way up as well here. We're going to see tanks and 4s still moving in towards the center from Group Jimmers getting picked away at as well. Queen transfusing a Hydralisk or 2 back up to help, and again pushing through the middle. A lot of these 4s looking to see what they can do. A Queen keeps on pulling away. A couple of Slank Claws going to go down as well. You see this Extractor drops his hatchery. Also going to drop now. This push off Lillekanin will just continue, and Reynor does not really have a way to fight against this. I mean, what can he do? I mean, again, he's got to really rely on the Broodlords, I think, if he wants some way to deal with it, but will the Broodlords be enough of an answer? I mean, let's look at the unit tab. 7 4s, to be fair, is the only anti-air. So maybe if he does get enough of these broods up, which is starting to look a bit more likely, 8 broods. And there's no Vikings on the way or anything like that from Lillekanin, right? So without Vikings coming through, it's a possibility. He's going to find this bottom side base though, and that's going to be a chunk of drones going down. Drones that Reynor cannot really afford to lose right here. Just moving into the middle of the map, getting taken down almost instantly. We just need to see... so what we need to see is probably these abducts on the 4s in towards the Hydras, etc. Killing those off instantly, and then using the broods to keep on pushing forwards. It's basically kind of the dream scenario right now, as we do have units over to the left-hand side. Seeing what's up, a couple of Hellbats getting to work on Hydras here in this hatchery and in this mineral line. Another Viking shot or 2 is Lillekanin's mech. Is really on the verge of making this happen. I'm just not sure if there is indeed that answer to the 4s. Repair drone goes down to try and keep some of this alive, as we're going to see a lot of blinding clouds will stack up a lot of these units, and these units are not really doing too much. Some of these tanks in the back should maybe even think about sieging. A couple of these 4s here really not able to get into range either, so the Broodlords really are having a good time, but for how much longer? 2 4s remain, and actually 2 4s, if they do go down, okay, there's actually 3 4s, I can't count. Gets rid of the fours though. The tanks will go down very soon afterwards, and there's not going to be much of a follow-up from there. But the Broodlord count is disappearing, it's dwindling, and it doesn't look as though there will be enough here. Right now the repair drone is actually keeping this 4 alive. It is not going to go down. And as the Vikings continue to pick off these Broodlords, well, that is pretty much it. GG from Reynor, and Lillekanin will take the first game against Reynor here. And ready to go. To the bottom right-hand side, it's got a green Terran player. It is Lillekanin. He's going up against the Blue Zerg to the top left-hand side from Prophecy Esports. Down a game, Reynor. It's game number 2 of this matchup now. We look to see what's going to happen. As we do see SCVs starting to come across the map on Lillekanin's map pick as well, looking for this Proxy 2 racks opening. Reynor is one of my favorites for this group, and probably, a laser beyond Reynor. So, Lillekanin taking a map already does spice things up a little bit, and how interesting would it be if Lillekanin was to find himself a second map and to find himself taking down Reynor? That would really put this group into some interesting positions moving forward. Would be very interesting. Well, the 2 racks coming up. This is always accompanied by a gas nowadays, just the 2 racks, because you're generally going towards the factory. And once you're going towards the factory, you can go from there and sort of see what you set up to from that point. Next is going to be finishing up, and it's going to be seeing the well, gas pull hatch from Reynor, obviously. Well, pull hatch gas actually, so you will actually just have early lings and a queen. Help him defend against this. I mean, that's already a good start for him in terms of turning this away. I mean, the only thing that could be going better for him right now is to actually fully scout this. It would be a fantastic way for this to go for him, as you're going to be seeing. A couple of lings going to start coming down the low ground. I mean, double bunker, but he should be able to make his way through this one right away. I mean, here comes the Marine, though, and that's going to make this a bit more awkward. 2 more lings coming down. There's still a kill on the bunker, not even a cancel. He's going to pull some drones as well. Maybe send the drones after the Marine, which are a little bit faster. Oh, he's going to grab that SCV. That's really nice, and he is going to be able to kill this bunker off, even though it gets finished up. And that's really nice as well. So that's very nicely done here. Going to get this SCV too, and that's going to be the end of this for now, honestly. I mean, obviously the Marines are still here, but with more lings on the way, the Queen's on the way. Now you can buy time, as Reynor at this stage. You just run around, you buy some time, get up what you need, and then you fight this. This has gone very well for him. As he's a little bit careful with this 1 Queen against 4 Marines. 4 Marines are pretty good. Spinecrawler will start a build on the low ground in a moment. And he needs to be careful against 4 Marines. I mean, if a couple more lings coming out, obviously it becomes fine. But, yeah, okay, he's completely fine here. Continue to push this back. Good defense by Reynor then. But down 3 workers still, can probably cancel this Spinecrawler, I think. It's one of those tough decisions because, A, if he cancels the Spine, he gets the minerals back and a drone back. But, if the Marines stack up and fight again, then maybe the Spine can be useful. But maybe the Queens will be enough anyways. So, it's kind of a tough one to tell, as we're going to be seeing the few lings coming around the left-hand side once more. A few more Marines in the middle of the map here, just taking down another Zergling. We are going to see just more Marines here from Lillekanin continue to come in towards the center and just to kind of get set up and probably actually pull back home right now, because the Yar is going to see the lings moving across here to get aggressive. So they're going to be coming through. These lings are going to come up the ramp, and we are going to be seeing maybe a kill on the SCV just before the factory finishes. I mean, obviously, the factory can continue to build from the other side. And the ling is actually getting out there before the Marines arrive. That's really nice. That's actually awesome for Reynor, being able to keep these couple of lings alive. Just means he already has them on the map when ling speed finishes to help him defend against the follow-ups here. Again, in general, this was just solid defense, solid setup from Reynor. And now he's in a good position to follow through in this game. The factory going to start up a tech lab, and the starport is going to build next to it. So probably see a Banshee-based follow-up here from our Terran player. It's going towards this Banshee soon. The factory going to lift off that tech lab now. Going to drop down a reactor. And we do see the 2 barracks as well, just set. Still kind of out on the map somewhere, but I guess what else are you going to do with them? He's not going to play bio, so he doesn't really need them. I'm surprised he didn't send one forwards to scout just to kind of get an idea as to what exactly Reynor has in his bases. Maybe see a lair timing or so. Kind of interesting. Anyways, we're going to be seeing the Lings from Reynor coming back down towards the bottom right-hand side. A few Marines on the right from Lillekanin 2. Going to be moving around. Just a couple of Queens from Reynor pulling all the way back up to top left. Creep spread is looking good though, in towards the middle of the map. This creep is pushing on forwards. The third hatchery from Reynor coming down to the left side as well. And we are going to be seeing the spine crawler just burrowing over towards this third hatch. So, I mean, keeping the spine crawler earlier, I mean, as you can see now, I mean, maybe it wasn't needed, but it's just an extra bit of defense, and honestly, the worker count is just fine from Reynor anyways. 20 workers ahead at this stage. Going into Bane Nest and an Evo will help a lot against any sort of Hellbat-based attack here in the foreseeable future. Just going to see those Lings moving forwards, and we're just going to be seeing those Marines able to pick off an Overlord. A couple more Cyclones going to be coming on out, and as these couple extra Cyclones come out, we're going to see this Banshee is going to start getting something done, because Cloak will be finishing up. So Banshee looking to do something, but Spores are coming down. Plenty of Queens. I guess there's no lair just yet, of course, so he doesn't have mobile detection. But for Spores, he should be fine. He already gets the first shot off onto the Banshee before Cloak is even here. So that Banshee already just being forced away a little bit so far. As we're going to be seeing it coming back now towards the natural. Banshee will Cloak on up. And we are going to be seeing the Spore just going to relocate over and towards the natural. Banshee pulls away then from the natural expansion, and we are going to be seeing more Zerglings in the bottom left-hand side of the map from Reynor. Just going to be trying to run by and get a little bit of something done at the moment. Good defense from Lillekanin though. Not going to let any damage done just yet. He's going to be seeing the Roach single upgrade on the Roaches still just coming through that lair completing. And obviously from Lillekanin, in case I didn't mention it already, which I guess I didn't, but he does play mech pretty much every game, and this is not going to be any different at all. Cyclone's starting to come out. He's actually maybe just going to go for a bit, I guess, big push actually. I didn't think of this at all. He's actually only on one factory, one starport, no third CC, and pulling the SCVs now for this attack. You know, this could be a little bit scary. Bane's starting to come on in, but man, Reynor really needs units now. Like, he cannot wait at all to get extra units up right here. Morphing a lot of Banes. I do feel like the Banes are kind of one of the big answers to this for him. What's interesting, he's got +1 missiles, but no Rotron and no Hydrogen just yet. Well, Banshee will start to help out against the Spore will help out against the Banshees. Some mules being brought into play as well, as they're going to be looking for the repairs. Oh my god, the SCVs are just going to get blown up by the Banelings, which means the repairs aren't there anymore. Liberator will get targeted by the Queens, and it goes down pretty quick. The Banshee's still up in the skies, and the Queen numbers are dropping quite drastically, but everything else on the ground from the Lillekanin is just disappearing. GGG. The Lillekanin will tap out from Reynor to take game 2 to tie this up 1-1.